Hello everyone, Jeff here. It's been over a week, I think, since my last video. It almost feels like confession every time I say that. Bless me, VC, for I've listened. It's been a week since my last video. I'm on third shift, so whatever I say shouldn't be taken seriously because I'm a little loopy right now. But I did want to get a video out this week because, first, business first. The congratulations to the winner of the lottery contest. Can I say who it is? I think everybody involved with that contest has seen Bobby Z's video by now, haven't they? I think so. So, Jacob, I know I talked to you yesterday on Facebook Messenger. I mailed your records, your Z records, because that was the letter I had. And with any luck, they should get there by Christmas. From Oakland to Denmark is going to take 10 to 15 days. So maybe I'm hoping it gets there before Christmas. And I hope you like the records. And just so everybody knows, I found that the charity that he requested we donate to would be like our local animal shelter that has a no-kill policy. So I found a no-kill shelter in Chicago called Fearless Fido, and I donated $25 to them. And I sent a copy of the receipt to Jacob to prove that I did it. So we're all square with that. That was a great contest. If you're watching these videos, I don't think you watch my videos, but if you do, on the off chance you do, that was a great contest. I love watching your videos anyway, no matter what you do. So, and that drawing video was probably the most epic contest drawing video I've ever seen. So, yeah, I just sat back with my coffee, and it was a beautiful thing. So, there's that. Also, at the same time, I send off the lottery records. I also sent off my last Christmas VCLT package. I know I said last time I was done, but I had one more person that I wanted to send something to, and I had to wait because I got that record off of eBay, so I had to wait for it to come to me first. And then I inspected it, gave it my Jeff seal of approval that was suitable to give. It was in good enough shape. And then I wrapped it and I sent that off. I contacted that person too. They know it's coming. That'll be next week. All right, I'm done with Christmas VCLT. Have to say though, it has really warmed my heart watching people open their packages. That's the best gift that I get out of doing these things, is watching people be surprised. That's why I love Christmas so much. I love watching people open their gifts more than me opening stuff for me. So, and it seems like a lot of you have been genuinely surprised by the records, which is good. Always happy to make people happy, and I think the choices that I did were compatible with those people. So that's been a lot of fun. I haven't really listened to a whole lot of new music. I only have a couple records to show, but the house, this wonderful abode that I'm living in here, has been kicking my ass lately. You can't really see it, but right behind me is the Christmas tree that we put up this week. And I set up my Christmas lights outside the other day, and I have an outdoor outlet. And when I went to plug into the outlet for my Christmas lights, the thing fell apart. The outlet, the plastic just cracked right off. So I ended up having to replace that. I put a picture of that on Facebook. So that was not a big deal, but it's kind of annoying. And then the day after that, this would have been, today's Friday, so this would have been Wednesday. I get up after working all night. I slept in the morning, and then I get up. I go downstairs to let the dog out of her cage, and I look in the utility room. There's water all over the floor. And I'm like, now what? So it turns out my water heater started leaking at the bottom. So that day, had to pull money out of the old emergency fund for that one and buy a new water heater and put it in. And actually, I'm going to have a buddy of mine who's an actual plumber come over and look it over, and I think he's going to maybe fix a few of my mistakes. But it works for now, so I'm happy. We have hot water here because it's starting to get very cold here in Chicago. So yeah, that's kind of eaten up a lot of my free time for spinning records, but I did get a chance to play this one over the last week. This is One Night with a Stranger by Martin Briley, and everybody seems to have heard of this album but me for some reason. I guess here's the back cover. I guess he was a one-hit wonder with the song Salt in My Tears. Supposedly that was a heavy rotation MTV video in the early days. Never heard of the song, don't remember it. I mean, I listened to it here, and it is a good song. Just never recalled seeing it before. So this was pretty, this was a decent record. It was pretty standard, you know, early 80s pop. You know, nothing too great or too bad, but it was still, you know, a decent listen, so this was okay. And then when I said that I needed more Albert Collins in my life, when I played the live CD that Hannah had sent me, I went to Half Price Books, and when I was doing some of my shopping for VCLT, and I got another Albert Collins album. This one's called Frostbite. I love this cover, by the way. It's probably one of my favorite covers, especially for a blues artist. And Albert Collins' nickname is the Iceman, so you get a lot of cool or cold or ice-themed album titles in his catalog. So here's the back. Great, great album. Alligator Records, darn near mint condition for Half Price Books, and I think it cost me $8. Sold. I'll play that any day of the week for stuff like this. I love Albert Collins. I love his guitar sound. I love his playing style. He's a great singer. I've seen him live a couple times too. I saw him actually open for the Allman Brothers at well, it's not called it. It's the World Music Theater. It's not called that anymore. I don't even know what it's called these days. But true to form for his live performances, he has like 100-foot cord for his guitar. So he jumped off the stage and walked around in the audience and was playing. And I think if you were close by that area where he was playing, it was great. But because it was a big shed, you know, hardly anybody else could see. So you could hear music. You just couldn't see where it was coming from necessarily, but Albert Collins put on a great show. He's no longer with us, unfortunately, but the times that I've seen him, he just blew the roof off the house, so it was great. So this was a great album, Frostbite by Albert Collins. And then, perfect timing for buying and playing those records. Hannah had sent me a small VCLT package. There was a couple CDs, and what did she include? Ice Pickin' by Albert Collins. This was actually the album that came out before Frostbite. This was his first album for Alligator Records in 1978. Frostbite came out in 1980, I believe. Here's the back. This is one of his best-known albums, and let me show you the CD right there. I played this at work the other night. It helped keep me awake, and it's great. I love it. So thank you, Hannah. She also sent another Albert Collins, which it was a double CD. It was the what was it called? It was called the Complete Imperial Recordings, and I listened to the first disc of that also at work. I still have to listen to the second one, so that's still at work, so I don't have that one with me to show, but I'll show it next time. So thank you for this, Hannah. This was not only was it an awesome VCLT, but the timing couldn't have been better because I seem to be on an Albert Collins kick. And besides the Frostbite album, I also found another live album of his at half price, which that'll pop up in a future Spin Zone video, which is what this is. I don't think I even said. And then one of the other reasons why I haven't listened to a whole lot of new music was that I kind of fell down the Billy Joel rabbit hole for a little while here because just like I said in a previous video where I pulled a Beatles album from my old original collection to play it, the White Album, and then I got the idea to pull all my other Beatles records and look at them and clean them as needed. Well, last week on the radio I heard Just the Way You Are by Billy Joel. Hadn't heard that song in ages and ages, so I pulled the Stranger out of my original collection. And it was a little dirty, you know. All of these Billy Joel records that I'm going to show you, I got them all in the 80s. I think the only one I bought brand new was The Bridge. Everything else I bought later. But I think pretty much everyone knows this album. I think it's pretty common. It's easily one of Billy Joel's best, without a doubt. You know, there's so many hits on this album, it might as well be a greatest hits album on its own. So I pulled this one, played it. It sounded a little crackly, it looked a little dusty, so I ran it through the spin clean. Played it again, it sounded a lot better. So then I said, if that's good, then another one would be better. So I pulled 52nd Street, cleaned it before I even test played it again, and you know, all of these just had some light dust, maybe a fingerprint or two here or there, but they're all in pretty nice shape still, which makes me happy to at least know that I kind of was able to take care of my records, even back when I was a younger lad. So I played 52nd Street, and then of course after that we got Glass Houses. All of these albums are on the traditional Columbia label, except they all have this logo above it called Family Productions. So all of these Billy Joel albums have the label that look like this, and of course Glass Houses is chock full of more of Billy Joel's best known hits. And then after that we have the Nylon Curtain, and I ran out of inner sleeves. I just got an Amazon delivery here this afternoon. I ordered a pack of new outer and new inner sleeves, so when I open that, this will get a new inner sleeve. Nylon Curtain by Billy Joel, another great album. Allentown is probably one of my favorite songs by him. And She's Right on Time, which is another, I know a video was made of that song. I don't know how big of a hit it was, but that's another song of his that I really like a lot. And then, of course, after that, we got An Innocent Man. Like I said, I fell down the rabbit hole with Billy Joel, the Joel hole. Of course, I need a new sleeve for this one, too. I didn't want to clean it and then put it back in the old original custom inner to get dirty again. So I'm assuming this will stay clean. And then finally, we have The Bridge. This one has a couple of decent songs on it. It's not my all-time favorite album of his. I think by this point, I think he was getting a little tired. I think he was starting to, I don't know, I think he just needed a little change of pace. And then 3 years after this one came out, he put out Stormfront, which I never bought, which had more of a bigger, slightly different sound. I think he changed up band members. So, decent record. You know, I mean, it's Billy Joel, so how can you really go wrong? You know, I don't know how I could really pick a favorite out of any of these either, so, yeah. So, I've been sidelined a little bit with playing music. I've been doing a lot of Christmas shopping beyond VCLT. And there's presents under the tree. I'm looking at them right now. And a few more came in the mail, so I'll be wrapping a little bit later, which always makes me happy. I love wrapping presents. And yeah, that's it. So I just wanted to say hey to everyone. Thank you for watching and commenting. And hope everyone is enjoying their Christmas season. I think I covered everything. And peace. And I hope to see you all again soon. So till then, Merry Christmas, and I'll talk to you soon.